As a writer, generally, like, I'm not someone who can wake up and like write for 5 minutes a day in the morning. I'm really like kind of, it's very disorganized, and so I'll like have an idea and then like run home and like get stuff out on paper and like just like write for hours and then put it away and not look at it for like months, or sometimes just like I'll have little pieces but then just kind of wait for ideas to come. I did a lot of it of spurts of energy in the beginning, and then I'll set it aside for a few months and then slowly chip away at it and like sent it to friends, got a lot of notes from them, which to the first draft they were like, the first draft was really, 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 really rough, and so it like slowly refined itself and like came into shape like over several months. It's a short script, but like I take a while to like really shape little things out. Yeah.
Did you kind of conceive it when you first wrote it down as kind of a short story, or like?
Definitely a short. Yeah. It's pretty loud. No, it's okay. I thought of it as a short first. Like, I think other ideas, they just kind of come as longer pieces, and then I try to think of them as you like adapt the longer idea into a short, but this one was very much like crafted around the idea of like, how do I tell a story as simple as possible? It was basically one of my first shorts that was a bigger production, so I really wanted to think about how contained could I make something. I knew I wanted it to be romantic, but I don't know. I kind of liked it being sort of, this isn't like the end-all be-all sort of thing. It's not like maybe they, in the feature version, like maybe they'd end up together or in something, but it also kind of, the like joy of it isn't dependent on that. It's just like a nice thing. It's more of like, oh, the possibility of this can happen. It's not even like, it's like just a nice experience that they can both like take with them and then keep living their lives, and like it's less about pursuing the person and the thing itself than just like having this like sweet experience kind of.
Can you talk about maybe the symbolism of the lucky fish? It's called the title of it.
Oh, symbolism, yeah. So titles are really hard for me. I feel like you either have it at the beginning or you're just like pulling at threads. I honestly didn't think too much about the symbolism. I just aesthetically liked how Lucky Fish sounded. And it's like a lucky experience, and there's obviously fish, but that was a placeholder title I had in the beginning just because I thought it was like sweet, cute, and like matched the tone of the story, and then I couldn't think of a better title, so I just kept it. Yeah.
And then can I ask, like, why was it set in a restaurant for you?
Yeah, why restaurant? Well, this was an interesting one because usually like the setting comes first to me in the stories, and then or the characters and the setting, and I slowly pull together a plot. But this one I had the feeling first that I wanted to get across, and then I was just thinking like, what's an exciting setting that people would want to watch and be in, and what would look really exciting? What would I be excited to film on screen, and what spaces do I feel like I know well enough to write and I've spent a lot of time in that could fit this story? And then I was like, if I set it in a dim sum restaurant and I want something really colorful and really fun and exciting with like lots of food, this would be like so fun to film on screen, and I know it really well. Like my mom's side is Chinese, like spent a lot of time there. Yeah.
And can you talk about how it kind of was? You mentioned it before about how quarantine made you strip down the setting. Actors really strategically.
Yeah. Talk about
like how it was for you, I guess. And I guess you imagined it beforehand, and like what happened.
Yeah. It was just a lot more, I think. in the writing process, it's like you're not thinking of like how do we logistically actually achieve this. You're just like what will be fun and what's exciting. And I think a lot of times I'll like, in order to make a scene exciting, kind of like rely on safe things that I know will be fun on screen, like a crowded room, party scenes, like rooms filled with movements and people, and it was just a lot more crowded and probably could have looked good on screen, but I feel like stripping it down like forced me to really make it all about like this has to be about two characters, and so like the performances have to be great, the dialogue can be sparse, but like how do we, it just like you rely, if you can't have all these like kind of fun other things, you have to like hone in on strengthening what's already there, I think. So it made the script stronger, even though at first it was kind of scary to like lose all these things that I knew would look cool on screen. In the script, and when I was thinking about the visual kind of like progression of the story, I definitely wanted it to be like the beginning, more sterile, everyday, bright lights, you're with your family, kind of blah every day, and then I wanted to slowly transition them when they go upstairs into like a kind of more surreal, like magical experience. And so when they go upstairs, it's kind of like, it's almost like like the Chronicles of Narnia, like stepping into the wardrobe and like going into this other world. So I wanted to kind of like gradually bring them into that other space. And so even like the score doesn't really start until they're going down the hallway, and like the lighting kind of changes, and so all the little small things I made, I wanted to kind of like transition them into that and then like come back to it at the end. A lot of sound design and details like I like to put in the script. I didn't put like drab Chinese music, but it was just like the feeling of it was in the script, and my editor helped kind of pick those music cues. And I did have things like I love writing like sound, like water, sound of the fish tank, like the water filtering in upstairs was really important to me. And then the rest of it I shaped with my composer, basically, of a score that would fit the emotions of it and like help tell the story really well. So they were like really like a huge part of the film. It's funny because it was very much in the script and it was very intentional, but early drafts I literally just said Asian American, like the characters were just like Asian American, Chinese American, and there was similar dialogue but nothing so specific as to like I'm half Japanese, half Chinese. I didn't like have that in the script and then like be like I have to find someone who's this exactly. It was like the ideas were there, and then I had placeholder dialogue, and in the script it was just like Maggie Chinese American, Celine Asian American. Chinese maybe makes more sense if she's at the Chinese restaurant with her family, but not necessarily. But I wanted them both to be Asian American, and then I just cast it, and then I do a pass after I cast to like kind of like when you're tailoring like a dress or something, it kind of fits and they're perfect, but I like to change the script to kind of like, especially because they both kind of connected with the story in their own ways, I wanted to like tailor it a little bit to them. So like the dialogue about like their specific ethnicities is pretty much just like true to the actors that I cast. So crazy to like, even this is the first in-person festival I've gotten to be at in a while for this film, which is so cool. And it's funny, like I shot it last May, so May of 2021, which isn't that long ago for a short, but it feels so long ago because it was like, oh my god, vaccines had just come out. Like that's crazy, and it was only a year ago, but I feel like I've just changed a lot. Or you know, like you grow a lot in a year, but I feel like this year has been like a lot of changes, and like all good. But it's funny, like I look at when I watch the film, I'm like, wow, I feel like this was like 3 years ago almost. And like even the actor who played Maggie, I just shot another film with her, and she just turned 21, and she was 19 when we made it. And I'm even seeing like how much she's grown and changed like over the course of meeting her and making the film is like wild. But it's cool to see like how I don't know, like I see different things in it when I watch it now, which is really fun.